Hello everybody, this is GeGe from GeGe Yoga. I'm here today with a video for beginners. So if you've never tried yoga before, or you have and you don't feel quite ready to move to a general level class, this is a flow which sets all the foundations, takes it really easy, and I hope that you enjoy it. Let's get started. So we're actually going to start cross-legged, seated, easy pose on our mats. Now, what might be easy pose for me might not be easy pose for you. So if you want to put one foot in front of the other like so, that's okay too. You can even come to sit on your back on your heels. Totally up to you. But if you are cross-legged, hands come to the tops of the knees and then start to sit nice and tall as if somebody's pulling you with a string through the top of your head, and making sure that you're seated comfortably. You can shift side to side to make sure that both buttocks are evenly spaced on the mat. And then roll the shoulders all the way up to the ears and down the back body. Beautiful. Okay, so feel free to close the eyes here. Trust yourself to close the eyes and just listen to the sound of my voice. We're going to do some counted breathing just so that we can settle into the practice. Now, you may not be used to sitting up tall like this and just breathing and breathing mindfully. So this in itself might actually be quite challenging. If you're struggling with sitting tall, cross-legged like so, the best modification I can give you is to sit on a block or a big book, which allows your hips to relax a little bit, allows your knees to come down a little bit as well. So that would be my choice for modification for easy pose. We're going to inhale for a count of 4 through the nose and exhale for a count of 4 through the mouth. Here we go. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Keep going. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3. One more round and inhale. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Beautiful job, guys. So just open up the eyes now. You're all settled. You're here now. You've done the hardest part. You've laid your mat out or your towel and you've sat down and you've breathed. So we're in it now. You may as well stay for the duration, right? So bring your left fingertips down to the mat and take your right arm up and overhead. Inhale. And as you exhale, start to lean up and over. Now, I want you to think about grounding this opposite hip down. It's going to want to hike all the way up. Consciously take that knee, that hip back down. Give yourself space between the ear and the shoulder. And feel that stretch down the side of your body. And then start to come back up. And exactly the same the other way. Inhale. And exhale, up and over. And back. One more time each side. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And back up through center. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And back through center. Beautiful. Hands come back to the knees. And a bit of head movement now. So you're going to take your gaze over your left shoulder. Here we go. Inhale. Turn the head over the left shoulder. And exhale back to center. And the other side. Inhale. And exhale back to center. Tilt the head side to side. Left ear, left shoulder. Inhale. and exhale back to center, and inhale, right ear, right shoulder, and exhale back to center, and then chin to chest, inhale. Oh yeah, and exhale, center, and tip it back, open the throat, inhale. And exhale, center. And now let's start taking some circles. So take left ear to left shoulder, and then draw a circle with your chin all the way down to your chest, and then all the way over to your right shoulder and back through center. And let's take that the other way, right ear, right shoulder. Draw a circle with that chin all the way down to the chest. Keep drawing that semicircle all the way till you got left ear to left shoulder and back up through center. We're going to take some spinal twists. So twists are really great for loosening up the spine. Really good for if you sit down all day, if you have a desk job, the likelihood is your spine is incredibly compressed. So in doing spinal twists, we start to loosen everything up so that we can start to lengthen again, which helps posture, which helps sleep. It's all linked, it's all beneficial. So take your right hand to your left knee, your left thigh. If you're struggling, you can just anywhere, really doesn't matter. And then take the left fingertips back. They may not touch down onto the ground. You can let them hover and look over your left shoulder. And sitting nice and tall, lengthen through that spine, twist through the center and back to center, and the same the other way. And bring it back to center. Take a deep breath in here and sigh it out. Beautiful. Let's dive forward onto all fours. So into your tabletop position. So I want you to bring the hands underneath the shoulder points here, the knees underneath the hip points. So you have like a human table position going on here. And then turn your elbow creases towards the front of the mat, so that outward rotation. And then sucking belly towards spine a little bit, so activating through those glutes. And we're going to take cat-cow here. So your cow pose is you dropping the belly, lifting the bum, lifting the chest, and lifting the gaze slightly. It doesn't need to be much. Pressing into the palms. So you've got a bit of a back bend going on. And then as you exhale, it's the opposite motion into your cat pose. So you're rounding everything in, really pushing into your palms, round the shoulders, round the upper back, and drop the head down the middle. And again, inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale, one more round. Remembering that it doesn't have to look exactly like mine. Just focus on the sensations, the loosening of the spine. You might be feeling all sorts of creaks that you've not felt in a while. And lovely, back to center. So we're going to head into our first downward facing dog of the practice, which can be quite a tough pose when you're first starting out. So tuck the toes under, so you got your toes on the ground here. You're going to start to lift the knees, lift the bum, reaching your bum all the way up to the sky. So you're really pressing into your hands here. And then you're creating a triangle with the body. So I want you to push into your hands. So you're pushing your chest actually away from your hands and then dropping your head down the middle. Your legs don't have to be straight. This isn't an easy pose. So you can have a really healthy bend in the knees. You can even step your feet really far apart if that feels easier for you. And the same with the hands. If you need more space in the shoulders, you can step the hands away from each other. Sucking belly towards spine, piking that bum up to the sky. And then from here, you can pedal the knees one by one. I meant pedal the feet, but you can bend the knees one by one. Silly G. Beautiful. And then from here, we're going to start to make our way to a forward fold at the top of the mat. So really bending the knees, slowly, slowly making your way there. And if you're finding difficulty here, if you struggle with flexibility in your hamstrings, for example, it's totally okay to carry your legs with you, right? We all need a little bit of help sometimes. Once you get to the top of your mat, forward folding, generous bend in the knees, start to drop the head down, let the arms dangle. If you're struggling here and you're sort of around here, just hovering's totally okay. But if you want to try to reach for something, blocks or books are always good. Bring the ground to you, whatever it is that you need to do. And then start to roll up, bend the knees generously, start to roll up through the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae. Should feel really yummy on the back. Yeah. All the way up. So you're standing in Tadasana, mountain pose. Palms are open, feet are evenly grounded. Really feel all four corners of the feet into the ground. Slight tuck in the tailbone, slight lift in the chest. Beautiful. Deep breath in. And out. Okay, let's get a rocking and a rolling. So I want you to bring your left leg back. We're headed into Warrior One. So I want you to step this leg back and then start to ground the sole of that back left foot at a 45-degree angle. So it's at a diagonal sort of left towards the top of the mat, and then really bend into this front right knee. So the width of your lunge really doesn't matter. What I care about is your knee, making sure that it's not tracking over the toes. This is not good. This, perfect. Okay, and then start to scissor the inner thighs towards each other. In turn, that will make sure that your hips are facing the front of the mat. Beautiful. Arms up and overhead. Really squeezing belly towards spine. Maybe you're already feeling a little bit of heat in these legs. That's all right. Keep breathing through it. Really important that you don't hold your breath. One more deep breath in. And out. Okay, we're going to transition to our Warrior Two here. Okay, so I want you to turn both hips over towards the left. So this is an open hip position. You can wiggle this back toes back a little bit if you want, and then bend deep into that front knee. Your back toes are now facing the long edge of the mat. So they've just turned ever so slightly, and your arms come out left to right, looking over your right front hand. Really, really bending in here. Tuck the tailbone in because it's going to want to splay out, which means that your chest will come down. So nice lift in the chest at the same time. Tuck that tailbone in. Bending into that front knee, nice and strong. Strong bum, strong legs, strong feet. Strong human. One more deep breath in. You're like, Geraldine, you already said one more. And out. Drop the arms, straighten both legs, and then turn both toes, both sets of toes now so that they're parallel, facing the long edge of the mat. This is going to be a wide leg forward fold. So bring the hands to the hips, power pose, lift the chest, roll the shoulders back. And I have a theory that no matter what you do or where you are, if you just stand in this pose, even for a couple of breaths, you feel a lot more badass. And then we're going to come down into a forward fold. So you're going to hinge at the hips, which means you're going to aim your bum backwards as you lower your chest, okay? Keep lowering, lowering, lowering. And then stop at the halfway point here, okay? So we've got a nice flat back. You're sucking your belly into your spine. This in itself takes a lot of strength, and if you need to bend your knees, that's totally okay too. One more inhale here. And as you exhale, start to let it go, reach towards the ground. Now again, same thing as with the normal forward fold. You can take a block or a book, bring the ground to you. We don't have to suffer. This is yoga. Reaching for that ground, let the head go. One more breath in, just enjoying that feeling down the hamstrings. And then bring the hands back to the hips and come out exactly the way you came in. So through that flat back to your standing, all the way back up. Beautiful. Right, yoga for the brain. We're going to go the other way. So we're going to actually face towards the back of your mat. We're moving to the left. Might look like the right to you. But you're just going to turn your front toes first. So your front left toes, it's now going to be the front. Bend into that left knee and then just turn these back toes so that they're at 45-degree angles. So we're back into that warrior one. Turn your hips to face the new front of the mat and then bend into that front knee, nice and strong. Beautiful. Really activate your bum muscles here, those strong peachy bum muscles, and then reach your arms all the way up to the sky. One more deep breath in here. And we're going to turn to our warrior two. So you're coming back to face me. Wiggle those toes. Back a little bit. Your hips are facing the long edge of the mat and you're bending into that front left knee, looking over your left fingertips. Squeeze your bum inwards so that you're not collapsing and lift the chest, lift the arms. Take the shoulders down the back body. Inhale. And exhale. And again, inhale. And straighten the leg, let the arms go. Turn both sets of toes towards the long edge of the mat. We're coming back into that wide-legged forward fold. Repetition is key. Hands to the hips, power pose. Loop the shoulders up and down the back body. Lift the chest, lift the chin, lift the corners of the mouth. And hinge. Down we go. Let's pause at that flat back again, strengthening that back body. And then find your fold. So again, the options with the block. If you have a block, what I love about blocks is that there is 3 different heights, which means that it really aids you on your journey. At first you might be up here, and then further down, and eventually maybe down here. If it doesn't get there, that's okay. And then bringing the hands back to the hips, let's hinge all the way back up to standing. Beautiful. Heel toe the feet in, little do-si-do. Shake it off. Shake, shake, shake. And then coming to the top of your mat, you're just going to roll the weight back down into your forward fold. So let your body hang heavy, ragdoll the arms, ragdoll the body all the way down. Floppy, floppy. And then there really is no elegant or graceful way to do this. So I just want you to find your way to your bum. Take your time, there's no rush. We're going to come into half firefly here. So I want you to bring your right foot into your groin, bending that knee, and then extend the left leg out. Now, you might struggle to keep your toes flexed up, and you might struggle to have that leg straight. So you're very welcome to have a bend for a start. But try and keep that leg really active. Try and keep those left toes really, really flexed towards the face. Inhale, just sitting here for a moment, getting into that hip. And then taking the left hand down the side of the left leg, you're going to reach up and over with your right arm. There you go, up and over, just like we did at the start of practice. And then start to come all the way up. Swap the legs. So right leg out long, left foot into the groin, sitting up tall. Whew, I've got sore hips today. And then taking that right hand down the inside of the right leg and reaching up and over. And start to come all the way back up. We're going to come into cobbler's pose. So I want you to bring the soles of the feet together and then open the knees out like a book. A couple of options here. As always, with a trusty block or book, you can bring blocks underneath the knees. For example, if you're a little bit higher up, it might just aid you a little bit, like so. You can have a blanket under the bum as well. Take hold of your ankles or anywhere you can on your thighs and your shins. Inhale, lift the chest. And as you exhale, start to lean forward with that chest. So we're not collapsing in here. As soon as you start to feel yourself collapse, you just want to back off a little bit. So lengthening through the spine so that you're not straining your back. It's the hips that are getting the stretch, which is what we want. And breathing deep here. Letting go of what you think the shape should look like. It's more about how it feels. And then starting to come up. Turn yourself to face your top of your mat. Soles of the feet into the ground, hold the backs of the legs, and let's take a roll down vertebrae by vertebrae. Lovely jubbly. Okay. Keep your right sole of your foot planted into the ground. The left leg is going to come up to the sky. Flex that left foot. Really, really flex it. And then you're going to take that left foot, bend the knee, and place it over the top of the right thigh. Yes. So this is going to be a real stretch into that left glute, into the outside of your left bum cheek. Let's simplify this. And then moving the left knee away. Lovely. And you can stay just like this. If you have a little bit more space in your hips, you're very welcome to lift up that right foot as if you're pressing it into an imaginary wall, and you can interlace the hands around the back of the thigh. You can also take a scarf here, wrap it round, pull the legs towards you. So many options. One more breath in. And on your exhale, let it go. Beautiful. Exactly the same on the other side. So just reset yourself, get cozy, and lifting the right leg all the way up to the sky. Flex those toes towards your face, and then start to bend that knee, crisscross over. And you have your options here. You can stay here, you can lift that foot, and finally you can also grab the back of your thigh. But whatever you do, don't force it, because there's nothing worse than overstretching, because it avoids you wanting to come back to yoga. And the aim is we want you to come back. So I don't want to give you a negative experience here. One more breath in. And let it go. Bring both soles of the feet to the ground, and then start to bring both knees into the chest, lifting that lower back off the mat to bring it back down. Should feel really yummy. And then either holding your kneecaps, holding your shins, or you can give yourself a wrap and just rocking side to side on that back. Woo! You might fall over one side, not be able to get back up. It's happened to me many times. It's the absolute gift of the at-home yoga practice is that generally there's nothing to be embarrassed about. There's nobody watching you, right? Okay, and start to let the knees go. We're going to head into Shavasana, final resting pose, corpse pose. It's not as grim as it sounds, it's actually lovely. It's the little nap you get at the end of every practice. So just let the ankles drop open, legs are as wide as the mat. Let the arms drop open, hands drop open, arms as wide as the mat. Tuck the chin slightly into the chest. And close the eyes and try to scan every part of your body and see if you can release any tension. So everything should feel very relaxed, very floppy here. Taking some deep breaths in and out. A lot of people are scared to try yoga. They either think it's some hippie voodoo stuff, or they think they just won't be able to do it. And I think we present a very one-tone yoga note to the world sometimes, of headstands and arm balances and all the fun stuff that, you know, you might be able to get to one day or not. Most people who practice yoga are people who just want to feel good, just want a relaxing moment at the end of the day. They're not trying to perform any great gymnastic feats. And the at-home yoga practice allows us to do that. We don't need to impress anybody. Stay here for as long as you like. Bringing our hands together in prayer. Bring the thumbs to the third eye, to the middle of your forehead. Namaste.